new storm has formed in season number 4. It's a grand national tour that ends near the California shores. Home track heroes take on big league talent. OGs return while fresh meat joins the fold. In a competition where fortune only rewards the bold. So who's willing to knock off a few doors? It's about who wants it more. In 2024.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
Sean Bounty, a third-time winner. Ryan Truex gets it done.
Clapper goes 3-1 and passes several cars. Foley comes out of the final corner to win.
Jordan Durasic will win this race.
Here they come across the line. Your race winner is going to be Matt Cherry.
See, in the end, nobody really cares where you got your start. The only thing that matters is where you finish.
The 2023 Thunderclap iRacing Series champion is Ryan Truex.
For one final time this season, drivers, at least this regular season, drivers get to solidify their spot in the playoffs. One more race before we start the Forming 16 and the playoffs for the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nick Stein, joined alongside one of our brand new commentators, Joe LaCastro. Sorry, I kind of screwed that name up, but it's also Austin Derbyshire in the production booth here tonight. But as I said, it's Iowa. One more race for these guys before they start the playoffs, and it is expected to be a good one. It's the next gen here at Iowa. It is going to be a good night.
What did I walk into? What room is this? This is all this excitement, all this heat. I'm absolutely floored and excited to be here. Nick, thank you for having me.
It is good to be here, especially where the corn grows. I believe Iowa does corn. If not, I just pissed off a lot of Midwesterners, but we're going to roll with it either way. As you can see, Iowa Speedway here on our Google Earth flyover. But like I said, tonight is the regular season finale for these guys. 175 laps for these guys that they have to tackle this tough, bumpy, tricky track. Stage is going to be at 50 and 100, so quick stages here, followed by a 75-lap endurance kind of event here at the end. But before we get into all the fun and festivities that Iowa has to offer, I believe you got some keys to the race for us here tonight, Joe.
That's right. My first ever keys to the race. I'm going to do my best and talk a little bit about what the drivers have to look forward to and to be maybe even afraid of. The first key to the race is the car is going to build loose tonight. These are next-gen cars. These are going to be the kinds of cars that if you don't appreciate the kind of power you're putting down on the exits of some of these turns, it's going to come up and bite you quick. And with these cars stacking up close to each other, the track not being a generally huge track, we could really see some looseness. Let's talk a little bit about those idiosyncrasies of Iowa. You hear people in practice talk about 2 and 4, and they talk about how coming out of those corners, if you're not ready for them, that's going to be where that first key comes into the second key. And there's bumps. I believe you said it was it in 1 and 2? That's where the bumps are going to be. And this is on this track. So loose plus 2 being a treacherous corner plus bumps means that all those put together are going to lead to potentially some implications to the playoff numbers. Now, you've talked about how we've got only one race left, this being it for them to lock in what's available for the playoffs. So if they don't respect that track, if they don't respect the car, we could see people's names slide around and start to fall south of that line or even move above it.
Yeah, for our playoff picture, we're actually going to get into our starting grid real quick. We'll go ahead and talk about the playoff picture and our picks after our starting grid. But as if I even need to say it, Port Lavaca, Jordan Jurassic pole position, get on with it. Tristan Bruce on that second spot in that outside row, got about 0.04 of a second between those two. Noah Rainwater in the 0-5 starting in third position. TJ DeBlasi in that fourth position. Matt Cherry rounding out your top 5 starting grid here tonight. Matthew Montgomery in 6th. Austin Cooper got ourselves a little bit of a rookie here. Rookie stripes here in that 7th spot for the 12 machine. Matt Garrett going to be starting in 8th with Robert Walton 9th. And Robert Colgan is going to round out your top 10 here tonight.
Excellent, excellent. Love the idea of a rookie being in a race where I am also. And I think we're going to be moving over to our picks for the evening.
No.
Excuse me.
We're starting grid.
I'm so sorry. We're going to move through 11 through 20th here. Brandon Schumann and Gregory Shepsis in 11 and 12. And that followed by Justin Clapper and Anthony Burleson. Very good. Go the way around here. We've got Josh Kerner. Please correct me on that if I get that wrong.
Kerner.
And Chase Leahy. And Chase Albright in the 49. Bo Condon on the 25. Todd Lee in the 46 on the inside. Andrew Olszewski on the outside.
And rounding off our 24 car field here tonight, Nicholas Tomlinson in 21st, Kyle Bartles 22nd. Last car to set a time here tonight, Stephen Lachinsky in 23rd. And Kyle Newkirk going to round out your 24 car field here tonight. But we are going to go ahead and get into our broadcast picks real quick. And I'm only doing this as a joke because Jordan Jurassic told me to. He told me to pick him this week to see if my curse has any effect on him. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 6 of Jordan Jurassic here.
Okay. Being new, I had to look at the list and look at a name that stood out. And DeBlasi's name stood out because I looked at it, and at a first glance I said, kind of looks like DiBiase, like one of my old favorite wrestlers. And so I went with DeBlasi. I would like to see that 78 cross the line.
Of course, Austin Derbyshire taking the Grid Vision card, number 9 of Matthew Montgomery. All of our picks starting in the top 6 here tonight, but like I was saying before we had to go into our starting grid, our playoff bubble is really, really tight right now. Of course, your entire top 10 is pretty much locked up, set in stone here tonight. So anyone in your top 10, so Jurassic, Bruce, Christopher Tate, Matt Cherry, I believe that is Noah Rainwater, Robert Colgan, Brandon Slew, Robert Walton. They're all locked in with wins. Matt Garrett and TJ DeBlasi are locked in on points, but Andrew Olszewski is 6th to the good right now in that 11th spot. Justin Clapper is 59 to the good. Gregory Shepsis is 52 to the good, and Matthew Montgomery is 37 to the good. Matt Holmes is 30 to the good, but right at that 16th spot is where things start to get tight because Thomas Aaron is only 6 to the good. So that is where we're going to be watching pretty much all night, is seeing who can get into that last spot for the playoffs, because pretty much if you go, 14th on up, they're pretty much good, locked into the playoffs. There's no really worry unless something tragic happens. Excuse me, I almost said Jurassic for some reason, but
something Jurassic happens, for instance, or something tragic happens to Jurassic, maybe.
He's locked in. He is all good. So there is no worry for that 6 camp, but
and no risk of injury, so we're good there.
Yeah, that is true, but like I said, that playoff bubble is starting to get a little bit tight here. As actually, I don't believe Thomas Aaron is here tonight. No, he is not. So I believe that allows Brandon Schumann in with a chance to get into the playoffs if he just finishes here tonight. But before we get to that finish, we got to get to the green flag, and it's going to come out quickly here. Green flag out in the air. Jordan Jurassic hits that loud pedal, and we are green here at Iowa. 50-lap sprint to the end of stage number 1, and Jurassic is going to get that lead pretty quickly down into turn 1.
Looking good. They're 2x2 right now. Jurassic, Bruce, Rainwater in 3rd, and DeBlasi, my man, in 4th. Holding out. Look as the cars start to straighten out a little bit. Coming around in 3 and 4 to end the first lap. We already have a spin. We already have a spin. We're going to caution. Our rookie. I was about to say something nice about a rookie being in the race. I was so excited to have a rookie on the broadcast with me on my first broadcast. Oh, no. Maybe we can get another look at that.
This is why I don't speak good about our playoff drivers, because Brandon Schumann was involved in that.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, man. But going down, you see the replay here. Cooper goes down.
There it
into
is.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Violent
loose.
overcorrection.
Big loose. And instead of riding out that slide for a second, that correction bit him right back, and the car snapped up the track on him.
A nice little snap oversteer getting over one of the seams here at Iowa. Those seams are like landmines here. You see right there. Bang.
Big lesson. That's our first Iowa lesson right there. And looks like the keys were right on track. Wow, who's caught up in that? The 79? Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Austin
Let's
Cooper, Brandon Schumann, I believe Steven Lachinsky may have been involved as well. Anthony Burleson, Andrew Olazewski. I think I saw Kyle Newkirk involved as well.
Colgan, yep.
A couple of big-time hitters there, and a couple of guys looking to get into your playoffs. I mean, Brandon Schumann in the 52, he was only, I believe, 6 points out of making it, so there's a chance for the 52 to still make it. Doesn't look like he's too badly damaged to where he can't.
How much clawing back? Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
How much clawing back is he going to be able to do during this race? I mean, it's early. It's only lap 1, still out of 175 to go, with 174 to go. I don't want to be the guy who goes anything can happen, but we're still early in the race. So the overall tragedy may yet to have play out. But there's always a chance. Any man with 2 hands has got a fighting chance, right?
That is true, and I mean, he better be thinking his lucky stars that Thomas Aaron isn't here tonight, because if Thomas Aaron was here tonight, that pretty much would have killed off any chance Brandon Schumann had at getting into the playoffs. But like I said, we're going to be talking about it all night. Is this playoff picture is going to continue to get tighter and tighter throughout the night, depending on how this race plays out. As actually Chase Leahy is going to be the big winner at the moment, as he is currently, I believe, 7 points out. So as long as those two can finish, I believe they both have a pretty good chance at making the playoffs here.
Excellent. Well, you've got a lot more experience with who's been racing here for the season. I know I'm playing a little bit of the back foot coming in and trying to play a little bit to keep up with who's going to make the playoffs, who's not, who's got the best chances. So I appreciate you keeping me and the audience up to speed on exactly where the line is and who's the closest to it as we see some of these mix-ups potentially here. Are we getting another angle, or no? We're looking at our leader here. It looks like the top 4 is the top 5 really hasn't changed much. Thankfully, where was Cooper when that hit? Do you know where he was in the stack? He was pretty far back.
I think it was about 8th or 9th, I believe, when he.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that he had. I thought he was a little bit further back on the grid at first, but okay, about 8th or 9th. That was a little bit further up than I expected. So the shakeup really did cover a lot of the field, but out of the pit now. P6. Oh, okay.
Okay,
P6,
so
way
we
further up
got
than I thought.
a little bit of kind of breaking news here, I guess, but Brandon Schumann has officially retired the car. So he is.
Why?
Yeah, so he is out and done. Andrew Olazewski has also just retired as well. So Chase Leahy is your big winner right here. He is set to gain at least 2 spots to kind of catapult himself into the playoffs as long as he can finish tonight. Granted, I don't have a live playoff standings here, kind of like they do in real life, so I'm over here having to do the math myself.
Crunching the numbers.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'm not very good at math, so usually it ends
Glad
up
you're doing it
with,
right now.
I was going to say, usually it ends up with smoke coming out of the ears and a very confused Nick by the end of the night, but we try here, and like I said, I believe as long as Chase Leahy finishes, based on my math, as long as he finishes 15th, he should be in on points. So that playoff bubble is already starting to confuse me, and we're, what, 6 laps into this thing?
Yeah. We're 6 laps in, 1 caution into 175 at Iowa Speedway today.
And I was actually wrong. Chase Leahy is 8 off the playoff bubble.
Very good. Okay. Well, I think we're going I think we're going ready. Getting ready for that green flag to come back out.
Yep, green flag is out back in the air, presented by Pine Golf. Jordan Jurassic, another big-time restart in that 6 machine. It's actually going to allow Tristan Bruce to catapult back up into that 2nd spot in front of the 0-5 and Noah Rainwater. Those two are going to be playing back and forth all night if we do get a pretty good chunk of restarts here, but everyone seems to have single filed out for the most part here. Jurassic still has that lead, but Tristan Bruce hot on his heels right now. De Blasi looking to the inside, now to the outside of Noah Rainwater for that third spot, but everyone seems to have kind of calmed down after seeing the huge wreck on lap 2.
Just about. It looks like the 16 of, give me the name again, Kerner? Corner, thank you very much. The 16 of Corner was the last one there in the 2x2 of the initial restart. And now that everybody's stretched out a little bit, we're going to see the people who knew the track and who know the track and who can get us to this nice green flag stretch that I got a feeling is coming up here.
Man, it looks like we're going to replay here. Kyle Newkirk seems to have got modified mode and did exactly what exactly what Austin Cooper did, but no caution due to the fact that he towed quickly. But once again, got
one
another car go modified mode. It looks like Chase Leahy did the same.
Second one here, he saves it maybe. Ooh, coming back, big brakes, just trying to get it straight. There we go, back on it.
And that's one of the things with the next gen car that you really have to watch out for is with the way this suspension. Oh, is this actually TJ de Blasi goes spinning through the infield.
No.
TJ de Blasi lawn mowing here at Iowa, keeps it straight, keeps it going, but that is going to be a lot of time loss. And I was just getting ready to say, with how stiff the suspension is with these cars, it is really hard to drive at Iowa here with the bumps, but it was actually contact with more rainwater.
Yep, it looks like he was unwilling to drive that extra edge that would have put him over the edge and caused that oversteer. And that unwillingness pushed him right up the track a little bit. It looked like it wasn't a hard enough door to cause too much damage to either of them, though. And I'm hoping that de Blasi can use this as just an example of a time to, hey, let's back off a little bit, 175 laps to go, or 175 laps here. Let's slow it down a little bit. You saw he was on the inside line, and he was the only one down there. And I think that was the lesson learned there. At that speed, you're not going to keep that inside line without either spinning or moving your way back up the track if your tires are not fully awake.
Yeah, and I was going to say, a lot of the time here at Iowa, you're going to be seeing them run this middle line here. And like I said, the next gen, it hates bumps, hates everything to do with them. But as I say that, Tristan Bruce is going to get to the inside of Jordan Jurassic side by side for the lead here. Bruce going to keep that middle line. Jurassic going to try to squeeze him down onto the bumps, but Bruce going to keep it going, and he is clear for the lead. New leader here for the first time tonight, Tristan Bruce at the 21. Now leads this race over Jordan Jurassic. Noah Rainwater now looking to pounce.
Look at that Planet Express move, and you saw that the leaders here have so much experience in these cars. They know the shape of the car. They know when they can close the door safely. And I was thinking to myself, where's the mistake coming in? Oh, looks like we got Rainwater pushing for 2 wide here for second place. For a second, nope, falling back a little bit. I spoke a little bit too soon, but these pushes for second place, these 2 wides. My first thought is, who's going to make the first mistake, and what's it going to cost everybody behind that? It looks like now we got Bruce pulling away.
Yeah, Bruce is starting to pull away here, but Jurassic really likes to use this first stage to save his tires, is what I've learned throughout the season. But I was getting ready to say that this is going to be a strategy game here tonight with how quickly the tires wear at Iowa. I mean, they're already almost upwards of a second worth of fall off just in this 5-10 lap run they've got going on here. So, because Tristan Bruce's fastest last lap time is a 24.3. They're already down 6.7. So it's not quite a second fall off, but they are starting to experience some hellacious fall off. It's just in this 10 or so lap run here. And by the end of this, I wouldn't be surprised if they're running 25, high 25-second lap times.
Now, by the time that we get to the end of the first stint, tires have got to be tragically shredded. And I'm wondering if we're going to keep seeing this oversteering action as the tires get more and more tired throughout the night. As you said, that they're going to get worn down faster. And I have not seen a track burn down tires this fast in a while, personally. And it's just been interesting for me to think. We're already seeing a little bit of this now. What can we see later? As we see now another 2 wide, pushing for 3 wide maybe. Nope, sliding. The 46 of Lee. Yep, the 46 of Lee almost involved there as everybody looks like they sorted their stuff out. And the 40 pushing forward now of Tomlinson makes the pass.
I was getting ready to say, if you want to go back and see a race where these guys were struggling with melting the tires, you got to go back literally a couple of weeks back to Charlotte, where these guys they were in the Xfinity cars, one of their crown jewel events there at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 200 lap race they had to deal with. They were dealing with track temps upwards of 140 degrees Fahrenheit in the Xfinity car that is so temperature sensitive. So yeah, you want to go and see some tires get melted, go watch that race, because
Not your fastest laps, I'm guessing, at that time.
no, they were running like 33-second lap times at Charlotte. So that was a very interesting race. There wasn't much racing going on there because nobody wanted to burn their tires off, but it was still a good race in the end because the track did end up cooling down, and it ended up being a pretty good race there in the final 100 laps. So, like I said, if you want to go see some tires melted, go watch like the first 60 laps of that race.
I do. And I think we'll see some tonight too, but I'm going to go watch the first 60 laps of that race, probably right after this maybe. And watching right now as we are crossing lap 22 of 175. The first stint being the shorter of the two. Was it the first stint, the shorter or the longer one? I'm sorry.
Stages are 50 and 100 tonight, so the first two runs are going to be 50 laps, but the last stage is going to be a 75. As we see a replay here, Justin Clapper in the 63. Looks like he is pulling it down pit road. And looks like just stops it.
Ooh, hard stop. Yeah, slams the brakes.
Yeah,
Wonder why.
Yeah, that makes our fourth retirement of the night just in the first 25 laps here. So,
was he fully retired?
Yeah, 5 retirements here tonight. Steven Lachinski didn't start, so he did not take the grid. Austin Cooper and Brandon Schumann involved, along with Andrew Olazewski involved. On that first incident there on lap number 1, Kyle Newkirk parked it about 6 laps later than those 3 did. And then Justin Clapper, of course, we just saw the replay. Oh, car on the track here. Gregory Sheps. Actually, that's Chase Leahy.
Leahy, I think. 34?
Yep, that's Chase Leahy. There's 2 Pine golf machines here when they run the Cup car, so it's a little bit confusing for me.
It's all good.
Ooh, gets a little bit loose on the bumps there in turn 1 and 2.
Yep. Doesn't touch it. Doesn't touch it.
Ooh.
Saves it. Okay, so he's going to get back out then. And there let's see. Ooh.
That's
live. And he's right back into the wall. Oh, no.
Iowa strikes again.
After watching him save it in the replay, we cut to live, and immediately Leahy is up into the wall, and he's a lap down, unfortunately, at this point. It's still, we're a little over halfway done with the first stint. So any man with 2 hands has got a fighting chance. And I think there is still a chance for him to at least make up some places. If not, he might have to go back for a pretty good chunk of repairs at the very least.
I don't think Leahy hit anything. If anything, he'll have a little bit of fender damage, but that shouldn't be much more than like maybe a minute repair. But things are really calming down big time here as these guys looks like they're just, as we saw someone in the YouTube chat say, middle lane merchant. Yeah, that is Iowa for you. You run that bottom line, good luck, because you're going to be killing that right front off, even just with 1 lap on that bottom line. Yeah, you see Gregory Sheps all the way down by the apron. Matthew Montgomery in the 9 machine here. Actually not in the Grid Vision car, surprisingly enough.
It's a Sunday drive for a lot of these guys as they ride the wall and then just into the middle of the line, avoiding that seam that has been cutting out so many of the other drivers. A bit of a filter on Iowa here as we see who recognizes it and who doesn't as they come around. Lap 30 of 175.
Yeah, and a lot of people would say that Dover is the one track you don't want to hit the wall at here, but I feel like Iowa could be thrown up into that category now because when you hit the wall, it's usually going to involve a pretty big wreck. I mean, we saw it there on lap 2 with, I think, 6 cars being involved, 5 of those being retired already. So, yeah, Iowa bites. It bites hard.
Yeah, it gets a little bit thinner too, I think, on the exits. So when you have these cars that are sliding up the side, and you've got people underestimating where their tires are, where the seam is. A lot of space suddenly becomes very little space. I think it's going to be, we're going to need to see a little bit more traffic, maybe from another restart or something, or a really major incident before we see this pack bunch up again and serious traffic becomes an issue. With everybody stretched out now, you've got this sort of string of pearls effect. And we got passing happening though.
I was going to say, you get the Matt and Matt show off of turn number 2. Matt Garrett on the 19, Matt Cherry up top in the 45, side-by-side 4 position here. This is
synchronized swimming.
I want to say this is for 3rd spot, actually, as Matt Cherry up on the outside in the 45, Garrett to the inside in the 19, both wanting that middle line. Getting a little bit
Garrett
tight
looks like
here.
he has the speed, but I can't tell. He's got the inside line, and for some reason on the exits here, it's costing him speed. But it looks like he makes the pass. Now, if he's going to just get in front and let the 45 of Matt Cherry save a little bit of tire now, as 19, Matt Garrett does the driving.
Yeah, Matt Garrett does get up into that 3rd spot. 34 laps complete here tonight. Tristan Bruce, your leader. Jordan Durasic follows closely in 2nd. Matt and Matt 3rd and 4th. Garrett in 3rd. Cherry in 4th. Todd Lee has moved his way up after being involved in that lap 1 wreck up into the 5th spot. Noah Rainwater has fallen back to about 6th. Shepsis is your 7th place runner. Matthew Montgomery 8th. Robert Walton in 9th. And Nicholas Tomlinson rounds out your top 10. Been a bit of a interesting start here. Had a huge wreck on lap number 2 if you're just joining us here on Grid Vision. A lot of cars involved out there. I believe it was Austin Cooper getting big time loose down into turn number 3. It took 5 or 6 cars out with him, and Chase Leahy is officially retired it as well, so put that retirement count up to 6 on the night. So officially you have got, if I'm doing my math right, a quarter of the field has already retired.
That's right. I think we started with, what, 24? We're down to 18 now?
Yes.
Something like that. Iowa filtering it out.
And they say Darlington is the lady in black.
And they say Darlington is the lady in black. This must be her sister.
Yeah, your wicked sister of the West, I guess. The Wicked Witch of the West, because, yeah, I was technically
the worst
north,
blind date in history.
I was going to say, I was going to have a bit of a brain fart there, but, you know, your joke saved me a little bit. But our battle for the lead is starting to tighten up here as we're getting closer and closer to the stage. As I say that, though, Jordan Durasic looks to the inside. Bruce just going to give it to him here. Doesn't look like he's able to. Ooh, contact between the 2 leaders.
He's not giving it to him. He changed his mind last second. Maybe it's possible he didn't even see him until that moment, and then thought, "No, it's not for you." But that has now officially changed hands. And our take it away.
English, it's hard. Trust me, I know. I stumble every freaking week, but for a bit of a surprise, I haven't actually stumbled over my words yet.
I was trying to say.
Now that I say that, I'm going to have the worst stutter known to man later on, but it is what it is. 39 laps in the books. Here's first stage break going to be at lap 50. That's where we'll see, at the rate we're going, that's where we'll see our second caution of the night here. First one not for cause here as we're looking through the field. Up in the YouTube chat, Sharon Bruce saying, "Go T Bruce." Well, your T Bruce up in that 2nd spot. Just had the lead and lost it to Jordan Durasic as further back. I believe that's Gregory Shepsis to the inside of Noah Rainwater.
Zoom! Look at that. 27, Shepsis. Nice and clean.
He's going to try the slide
speed.
job. Doesn't quite
He lifts off a little bit. Yeah, lifts off a little bit, but I think he's still got the speed. Looking for it, just giving him the room. Give him the room. All right, Rainwater just pulling back just a little bit to avoid the contact there. And
Noah Rainwater having, I'm going to go ahead and make a joke here. Noah Rainwater pulling what he does every week and falling off like a brick. You know, the fall off of Noah Rainwater needs to be studied.
Okay, I'm gonna make that my Thunderclap 101. The fall off of Noah Rainwater.
Nolan Rainwater. Okay, that's
Nolan Rainwater.
Nolan Rainwater. I love it.
Sounds like something you would study in literature class.
Cherry loose. Shepsis loose as well.
That's 2. Are they going to pick up more? 3 involved.
Caution on the racetrack. 43 laps into this race.
Wait for it. There could be more. Oh, a couple of good dodges
Modified.
there. And what I thought was going to be a 3-car wreck with the 27 of Greg Shepsis goes up, does not hit the wall, and just pulls away.
Montgomery involved there. Matt Cherry, two of the three Matts. Before you get confused, yes, it confuses me. There's 5 Matts in this league, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Matt Cherry, Matt Garrett, Matthew Montgomery, but some people call him Matt. And then who's the
I
fourth
see Matt Holmes here.
Yeah, Matt Holmes is the 4th one. There's a 5th one. I swear there is.
I'm just looking at the current stage points.
There's a lot of Matts in this league. It is very confusing.
Well, it's a very popular, and it's a good name, a popular name. Everybody's favorite apostle, right?
Sure. Anyway,
I was trying to find a famous Matthew where the name really kind of gets around. You know, in high school there were 3 guys named J Lo, Joe LaCastro, Joe Lorenz, and Joe Lombardo. We were all in the same homeroom, so that got confusing fast.
What in the New York did I just hear? Please tell me I'm right. That'd be the funniest thing ever.
Wait, what would be the funniest thing ever?
If I guess that you're from New York based off the name.
Oh, no, St. Louis, Missouri.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Actually, not even close, but it is what it is.
I'll take it.
Last week we were just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, at the Worldwide Technology Raceway for the Thunderclap iRacing series. That was a pretty good one. Came down to the last lap between your top 2 right now. I believe Tristan Bruce pulled that one off on the last lap with very old tires over Jordan Durasic. So you can tell who the 2 dominating forces in this league are.
Absolutely. You know, when I first started looking up what had been happening, the first 2 things I saw were Tristan Bruce victories being reported on the Facebook page there. So I'm already a fan, already keeping up with the Joneses as they were. But Durasic, it's been a really dominant force in this race, obviously. And between the 2 of them, I could flip a coin at this point and tell you who's going to win this race, because we've seen them both lead for almost an equal amount of time during this first stage. And we're going to be at the end of this, we're going to have our 3rd caution of the race in 4 laps. So
yeah, that will make things interesting, because it is such a short run to the finish of the stage. Sorry, I had a brain fart, but there's also the fact that these guys did not take tires under this caution. They're saving that pit stop for the stage break, so you're gonna be on 46 lap old tires fighting for a stage win here. It is gonna get interesting here to see who has their tires saved better here, and who is able to pull off the stage win here, as I believe it is actually Jordan Durasic that has the most stage wins on the season. I know he has the most stage points, but I'm not too sure who has all the stage wins on the season.
Very good. As the cars are coming back around now here, I think we're still at 1 to go probably before we get our race restarted. And this restart going to be on 47 lap old tires, so it's probably not going to be more than a bit of a geriatric restart for this race. Considering that we don't have much of a sprint, it's going to be a sprint to 50, and that sprint to 50 is just going to lock you in for wherever you're at 50. I don't anticipate anybody trying to do anything too crazy for the next couple of laps. I really hope no one tries to do anything crazy for the next couple of laps. They all know where they're headed. So
you have this in the plate race here, have you?
I haven't. No.
You have not. These guys get crazy on the plate races.
Oh no. That's fair. Okay. I probably spoke too soon. I can't make predictions about driver behavior yet.
Yeah, they're on 47 lap old tires, but that does not mean that they're not just gonna lay over and die here at the end of the stage. They're gonna race this thing out like it's the last lap of the Indy 500. So
hey, you got me there. We had people in the first lap. We had people racing it like it was the last lap of the Indy 500. So
yeah, these guys they know how to put on the show. They know how to put on the show.
Everybody knows why you go to the show, and it's to see a couple of good crashes and some good racing. Well, we got the crashes out of the way. So let's hope that the good racing and a few more of these, I like what we've seen so far in how the boys have done these quick changes. One set of 2 cars will just trade places. Another set of 2 cars will just trade places. That quick switching throughout the whole field, that's what I want to keep seeing during the rest of this race.
We'll have to see how that is going to play out here coming up to the end of the stage. Going to be a 3-lap dash for the finish here. Jordan Durasic going to be your restart leader here as the pace car makes that hard left turn back on the pit road. Green flag back in the air presented by Pine Golf and Jordan Durasic. Another pretty good restart here. Tristan Bruce somewhat keeps it even down in the turn number 1. Jordan Durasic going to take it all the way down onto the bump side by side for 3rd and 4th spot. Matt Garrett, Todd Lee at blows with each other here, but they're all going to keep it straight. Noah Rainwater to the inside of Gregory Shepsis as they head down into turn number 3 and 4. Todd Lee looking to the inside of Tristan Bruce, but white flag is in the air for stage number 1 here. Jordan Durasic still leads this race, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to catch him here, as your only real battle right now is 3rd and 4th here. Matt Garrett and Noah Rainwater, excuse me, that's 4th and 5th. There's actually contact on the back straightaway. They keep it straight, though, as off of turn number 4, it is going to be Jordan Durasic taking stage number 1, and at the line, that's going to get close. I believe that may have been Matt Garrett taking that 5th spot.
I think you're right. I think eyes are on Matt Garrett there. We have a few people in the chat cheering for Durasic and Bruce, our 2 leaders. And yeah, that was a nice sprint there, like we said, to the finish. And that was some good racing. It was 2x2 for a lot of that. There was a little bit of zippering going on as the guys were getting together, but never quite that stretching out that we had, just not enough time. Now when you're trying to be putting points on the board and looking for a stint win, or at least a very, very good stint placement. And our looks like our winner, Durasic, and our top 3 were Durasic, Bruce, and Lee for the end of our first 50 laps.
With that, we're going to take our first commercial break of the racing action here. Stay right here. We'll be right back to take you through pit stops and stage number 2 here on Grid Vision.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
I think we're ready to rock.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. If your lawn sprinkler controller is more than 5 years old, give us a shout today. We'll come out and take a look, give you evaluation, get you set up for a new Wi-Fi enabled smart controller. We can monitor this from our office for you. Give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look. Let's upgrade your controller. It'll save you water. We can save you up to about, we're averaging 47 to 51% with our clients. Feedback we're hearing from us. So give us a shout today. We'll glad to come out and take a peek. Talk to you soon.
A new storm has formed.
And we welcome you back here to Iowa Speedway post pit stops. And at the end of stage number 1 here, Jordan Durasic takes stage number 1 over Tristan Bruce and Todd Lee. Matt Garrett, Noah Rainwater had themselves a pretty close fight. They just got flip-flopped due to pit stops, but Matt Garrett took 4th in stage number 1. Noah Rainwater was 5th. And that was how your stage number 1 ended, and it has been a very interesting race so far, from a couple of big wrecks to some really good racing for Iowa standards.
Absolutely. For Iowa standards is a good way to put it, considering that it seems like it's been the track more than the racers that have been beating each other up here, as we've seen people spin seemingly as a ghost comes out of nowhere and shoves their car to the side. And that's caused most of the spins that we've seen this evening so far.
Yeah, a lot of self-spins here, a couple of big wrecks, as I mentioned earlier. But this should be taking us to 1 to green here. Yep, actually, it is 1 lap to green here. Going to be Jordan Durasic leading these guys back to that green flag. Tristan Bruce. I almost said Jordan Durasic twice, but Tristan Bruce is your 2nd place runner right now. Todd Lee 3rd. Rainwater, Garrett round out your top 5. Shepsis, DeBlasi, Walton, Colgan, and Burleson round out your top 10 here. 7 cars retired on the night, all the way down to Bocon, and at 17th is your first retirement. So only 16 cars on track at the moment. That just shows you how treacherous Iowa can be.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've got, so how many are left now? 17, I think, is 16. The official count. 16 is the official count left. Down
16 on track, and it is number 6 leading them back to green here as the pace car makes that left turn back onto pit road here. Green flag presented by Pine Golf back out of the air. Even restart here for your leaders. Tristan Bruce actually beats Jordan Durasic back to the line. He's going to have the preferred line down into turn number 1. Durasic on the bumps, though. Looks like he will almost get clear. Not quite going to be clear off of turn number 2. Bruce has that outside line, but does not look like he will get quite clear of the 6.
And here we go. Eyes on the fight at the front. Durasic and Bruce now straightening out once again. That zipper effect coming into play as the 2i2 falls back. It looks like a little bit further back, though. We do have another change. Potentially another switch. No. Oh, looks like things have straightened out again. I just missed that by a split second here as Bruce pulls away and into the lead.
And now Noah Rainwater looks to the inside of the 6 at Durasic. Off of turn number 4, Garrett big time loose in the background, but he keeps it straight side by side for this 2nd spot here. Durasic looks like he's dealing with a really tight race car. Rainwater to his inside, looks like he's got the momentum for the moment. Goes up for a quick little side draft down into turn number 3. Getting a little bit tight between the two, but Durasic staying strong on that outside line.
This is Rainwater's big push here. He's actually back at where he was from the grid position of 3rd. And right behind him, though, Shepsis is up 7 positions now. So he's the one with the most to gain.
He's also got the most to lose if there's a mistake made between any of these guys here. And he is up 7, but I believe your biggest mover is actually Todd Lee, who's gone from 19th to 7th. Actually, Kyle Bartles, 22nd to 8th.
Yep, right next to each other.
95, yeah.
And potentially still going higher. If, like you said, up here at the front, anything were to happen, that 27 of Gregory Shepsis, that would be one of the first cars to go. Unfortunately, it seems like he's tucked in very close behind Rainwater and Durasic, as now Bruce is the one who seems to be just a little bit ahead. Rainwater tucking it in on the inside, though, pushing for 2nd place, trying to take it from Durasic.
I've got to worry if Rainwater's pushing his tires a little bit too hard here in that 0-5. As we actually got a car sideways, Joshua Corner in
yes.
16. Looks like he gets loose off of 4.
Beautiful Camry. Back on track, though. It's driving straight. Going back to the replay, let's take a look and see what might have caused that. On the middle line, right on the seam. Loses it. And
somehow.
There he is, but he keeps on the brake just enough to keep the car straight and is back on.
Don't look now, but TJ DeBlasi is back up in the top 5. We saw him almost spin earlier, but he is back up in the top 5 looking to get into this battle for position here as Gregory Shepsis is now to the inside of the 0-5 and Noah Rainwater. Kyle Bartles in that Monster Energy Toyota is also looking up in that 6th spot looking to get into this big time battle we got going on. I might as well just call it a hornet's nest at this point, as this looks like kind of what we see every week, where just everyone is battling for position, and this is the first time in a while we've seen it up front.
You've got a lot of people in the top 10 who have pushed up double-digit positions to be here. And that's from the wrecks that have been going on, that's from hard driving going on, that's from the nature of Iowa. This race has had a little bit of everything for everyone so far. As we see Gregory Shepsis and Noah Rainwater trading between third and fourth here, there's a string of cars, and then anybody who wants a position, they're going to be the ones who dive down and test Iowa's lower line. And it's going to be the guys who take that test and pass it that we may see making up positions.
Right now, it looks like Gregory Shepsis, he's now almost clear the 05 of Rainwater, but Rainwater gets a really good run. Here comes Chase Albright to the inside of the 78 at de Blasi. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get much done. I believe he's actually a lapped car, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's not. That's actually for position here.
This is all for position here. I think the only person we have that's maybe a lap down is Bo Condon, who I don't think is still racing.
No,
he's still in the session. Yeah, he's still in the session. So no one is currently a lap down. I think everybody is currently racing for position.
Joshua Corner is, I believe, on pit road. He's gone a couple of laps down at this point. At the moment, down 1, but as they're about to go 4 wide, actually, as Noah Rainwater gets turned off of turn number 4. Todd Lee hard up into the outside wall, and I believe that may have been Matt Garrett as well.
Oh no, we're gonna have a few more retirements maybe. Let's take a look, see if we can get a replay of what went down. Take it on back.
Grid vision replay here. This is on board with Noah Rainwater.
Rainwater to the inside, loses the control, tries to snap back. He's sideways.
Todd Lee spins to avoid him.
Looks like Rainwater didn't
Shepsis didn't drive through Rainwater here.
No, it looks... Yeah, a touch of it. He gave him a little spin.
I wonder if Rainwater was already getting loose, though.
If he wasn't getting loose, he was so on the edge of it that sideways motion of the two cars touching, it wasn't a good push. It was a push, a lateral push. Any amount of lateral energy on the back of the car like that, at that point on Iowa, you're going to turn the car. And whether it was, he was just trying to get around him and he got a little bit too close, which is what I think happened, unintentional. No one's going to try to spin someone in Iowa in the turn and expect it to go well. So I really don't think it was an intentional shunt of any kind, but it was a lateral movement, and that got him just spun around a little bit.
Yeah, it only looks like the only person that really got any sort of damage from that was Todd Lee in the 46. Matt Garrett may have gotten a little bit, but it looks like everyone, for the most part, kind of survived that, as Joshua Corner is now 2 laps down. It looks like Matthew Montgomery is going to go a lap down as well here. As Todd Lee is still on track.
Looks like Matt Garrett is leaving the pits, and Noah Rainwater is heading in. Couple of switch ups here. So we are now on our yellow laps. Lap 75 of 175. 100 laps to go.
You're close. 105 laps to go.
105 laps to go. No, those flat laps don't count. I've decided that we're not going to race them. Don't tell the boys.
Fair enough. I'm down.
Yeah. Those are the 5 bonus laps they only get if they're extra good.
I could see it.
Yeah. We'll see. No more yellows, and they'll get those 5 laps at the end. How about that? And then it's ice cream.
Knowing Iowa, that won't happen.
See, that's why
we have one more guaranteed caution, so it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
And that's why I make the deal. See, I don't gamble, I win. That's the way you do it.
Hey, this man knows his stuff.
Yeah, I know a few things.
He knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two.
Yeah.
Farmers Insurance or something like that. I don't know.
And I think, see, you were quoting Farmers Insurance. First thing I think of is like Goodfellas. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Yeah. Something along those lines. Some Joe Pesci character said it at some point. I'm sure of it. Anyone, name it. Gone Fishing with Donald Glover. Danny Glover. Donald Glover would be hilarious. But that was probably not the movie. Anyways, looking at
As we are officially losing our mind here.
well,
Only took us 70 laps, so that's
you gotta
gotta be a
find
new
something
record.
to talk about during a yellow to pass a little bit of the time, right?
Like I said, it only took us 70 laps. That's got to be a new record. I think North Wilkesboro took us somewhere in the range of about 100 laps to completely lose our minds. So
Okay.
I think we're setting records here.
All right. We're setting the bar nice and low so that other folks can look extra professional later.
Exactly.
I can't look too good on my first broadcast, or else people are going to expect a lot.
Exactly. That's why I sound so dumb every week. That way nobody expects anything out of it.
Boom. See, there you go.
So that way,
I'm
when
learning
I
from
do
the,
have a
I'm
good
learning from the
broadcast,
best.
everyone's like, "Oh, Nick, you had a good broadcast. Congratulations, dude." And I'm like, "Oh crap! Now they're gonna
They
expect
don't know.
more out of me next week."
Well, we can't give away too much of the game. But as it looks like they're now lining up too wide, getting ready to restart, hopefully here.
Does look like we're coming back to that illustrious green flag for Jordan Dirac. Actually, it's Tristan Bruce, I believe, is your leader right now. In that 21
the
machine, he
numbers.
chose the outside line here to restart this race, and it looks like pace car is going to make that hard left turn back onto pit road as they enter the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air here. Tristan Bruce jumps up big time here. Driven by Klein Golf, that green flag is back out here. As Gregory Shepsis looks to the middle, 3 wide, but their side-by-side chase. Albright gets clear of the 27 of Shepsis.
Yep, and the car's quickly straightening out, realizing that too wide is not going to let anybody have any advantages this early on into what is going to be a nice long stretch of racing. It's there's going to be little passes. Like I said, guys are going to come down to the inside, but already before the first lap was even done, we had a nice straight line. And I think that that's going to benefit most of these drivers, even if they want positions. It's going to benefit them to learn how to drive in this straight line and keep the car in the middle of the track as much as they can, as much as they can afford to, I should say, during this stretch.
Shepsis sent a dive bomb to the inside of the 49 to chase Albright, but wasn't able to stick it as there wasn't much room between Albright and Jurassic there in turn 3 and 4, but Albright looks like he's going to fend off that attack from the 27 of Shepsis for the moment. It's a little bit further back. They seem to be dicing it up a little bit. Robert Walton, I believe, in the 66. Yep, it is him and Matt Cherry were side by side for just a second. Cherry to the outside, but Walton walks
Oh,
through.
into the grass.
Who is that?
Into the
That
grass
is
goes the 19. That was Matt Garrett. Whee! All right.
I was trying to catch the paint scheme, and I couldn't quite catch it at the end.
All I saw was the 19 a little bit as it was speeding away off into the dirt there. As we catch back up, it looks like the hardest driver right now. Oh, this will be good. We'll see exactly what caused our boy Matt Garrett to go off into the grass. My guess is that it was Iowa being Iowa. Let's see.
And I would assume you're right. Yep. Iowa.
And there it
being
is. Yep,
Iowa.
right.
We love Iowa, though.
Well, they shouldn't have built the track on top of a cursed burial ground, and none of this would happen.
Did they really? I thought that was Talladega.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Talladega is the one that's on the top of a cursed Indian burial site. We're actually getting a little bit racy for the lead up front. Chase Albright,
Yeah.
little name we haven't called that much up front this season, making himself an appearance here at Iowa Speedway in the 49. He's got second place pretty much locked up here for the time being. Going to slide up under the 6 at Jurassic, and he's going to have solo second place here. And now he's going for the lead as well as he takes it down to the bottom. Chase Albright almost clear of the 21 of Tristan Bruce. Almost gets clear of him, but not quite. Maybe be able to get it done down into turn number 3 as we got 20 laps to go. Jurassic now to the inside of the 21 of Bruce. And Albright, out of nowhere, takes the lead and leads his first laps on the season.
Wow, I'm watching the lines being drawn by Albright versus our two former leaders, Bruce and Jurassic. And Albright has been doing a bit of more of a diamond-shaped run compared to the other two. He goes to the wall, then he comes down to the apex. then he goes to the wall, and he's been doing that. That run is what got him from 17th place up to here, where he is now leading our race in the 80th lap.
Don't quote me, if we could get the graphic, I believe he may be on fresh tires.
Oh, that would make some sense. That would give him a lot of extra speed going into this extra stint here.
Okay, well, he's on somewhat fresher tires. Is actually Tristan Bruce and Jordan Durasic are on 81 lap old tires, so
wow.
they have
also
not
Sheps
pit
is also still on 81 laps there. Many drivers actually haven't yet taken tires. How many tire sets? I think you get 5 tire sets, and they're all holding on to it.
5.
Well, we are over half. We're almost about halfway through the race overall, and many of these drivers, at least about 5 or 6 of them, still have all those sets remaining. Wonder what they're
Yep, you're right.
for.
It is actually 3. 3 in the
Aha!
pit, 1 on the car.
See, I did some homework before I came out to the race tonight.
Yeah, so I thought I was smart. It turns out I was not smart. So.
Up here
Now
at the front.
TJ de Blasi looking to the inside of the 21 of Bruce.
Yeah, it's my pick. Where's your pick right now? Nick?
Right behind him, actually. It's Tristan Bruce getting a little bit loose
yeah.
there off the corner. He's getting hounded by both de Blasi and Rainwater for this 4th spot here. De Blasi gonna get clear for that 3rd spot. Now Rainwater gonna get clear for the 4th spot. As now it finally looks like tires are starting to die off for what was your 2 dominating cars here tonight.
Very much. It was a quick change too. Over the course of maybe only about 5 laps, the fortunes of Tristan Bruce and Jordan Durasic have completely changed. They're now 5th and 6th. Excuse me. Yes, 5th and 6th, as opposed to 1st and 2nd, where they were fighting for the entire first stint.
As it looks like things are getting a little bit racy now between the 2. As de Blasi, de Blasi really loose. He gonna go
Whips
below
out.
the apron.
He's back on. Does he lose? If he loses a position or 2 in the process, yes. Is he still in the top 10? Yes. Down 3 from where he started, but he is still racing racing for positions here, as is everybody else currently in the race.
See Matt Garrett there. He's been sideways a couple of times in that MTV 19 machine. Your leader is actually Chase Albright in the 49, being chased down by Matt Cherry. Oh, car on the wall. Who is
that?
Tomlinson. Big time hit.
Nicholas Tomlinson.
Surprised there wasn't a caution thrown for that.
Well, it looked like it might have been just a 1 car, and he's off. My guess is that he hit the wall. Let's find out. Tomlinson snaps up into the wall. The same exact accident we've seen take out at least 3 racers during this race, and I'm guessing Tomlinson might be out of the race with a hit that hard.
Yeah, he is. He's already pulled it back. We've had a change for the lead up front. Matt Garrett takes over, excuse me, not Matt Garrett, Matt Cherry takes over the lead from Chase Albright. You see that the too many Matts in this league already starting to confuse me here.
What a promotion for Matt Garrett, who's currently in 14th, to get a promotion to first place. You're a heartbreaker. You're an absolute heartbreaker, Nick.
Yes, whatever that means.
You said the wrong Matt. You got his hopes up.
True. As we're coming up on 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. Jerry kind of running away with this thing over Chase Albright. Got about 2.5 seconds back to Noah Rainwater, and then another 3, almost 4 back to Jordan Durasic. So looks like your top 3 on the fresher tires are really starting to pull away here. Also got to remember, Durasic and Tristan Bruce are on 90 lap old tires at this point, so they have not made a pit stop on tires. So they are going to have to pit, for sure going to have to pit with this next caution, because I don't see them going another couple of stages. Actually, we got a car spinning, it looked like, for a second.
Spin.
Matt Garrett again.
Whoa. Somebody's slow in the middle of the track there. Was that Garrett moving slow in the middle of the track there?
Matt Garrett in 19.
Still green. Still green. I didn't hear no bell.
Okay.
He's up. Okay, let's see here.
I think it's
Garrett's
about a
up
lap
there.
or so early.
Comes down. He's riding that seam.
I
Rainwater.
think this was off of 2.
Let's see what happens here. Rainwater cuts in.
Gets
Garrett
on the
cuts to
seam.
follow and just gets out. Pulls off. Pulls back on the track.
Ooh, doesn't hit anything.
Just makes everybody go code brown for a second, but it looks like everything is good.
Still
Staying
Matt Curry
green.
up front. Leading is now Noah Rainwater has caught the 49 of Chase Albright. 4-second spot here in stage number 2. Got about 6 laps to go to the end of said stage, but Chase Albright, now Noah Rainwater fighting for the 2nd spot. Looks like Rainwater may actually have pace to possibly catch Matt Cherry here.
He might just. Matt Cherry's got a 2nd off of Chase Albright, but Rainwater has barely a 10th off of him. Off of Albright, so he could be saving tires. When would do you know when Chase Albright or Rainwater's not one of the 81 tire crew or the 90 lap tire crew, is he? No, he's definitely not. So these two can have a nice potent race for the next couple of laps while we wait for that next flag to come out. But it looks like Rainwater just wants it a little bit more.
Yeah, Rainwater and Cherry both hit on that last caution on lap 70, so they are on the freshest tires in the field, so I would not be surprised if they stay out at this stage caution, which is in 4 laps here. Matt Cherry still your leader, being chased down by Noah Rainwater at this point. But Chase Albright still looks like he is going to hold on to that 3rd spot over Jordan Durasic, who's been falling off pretty steadily, considering he is on almost 100 lap old tires at this point.
The top 5 have a 10-second split now as we see them stretch out a little bit. It's much closer with the cars in 6th, 7th, and 8th. As we can see a little bit here, things are stacking up a little bit there. But the cars in front are stretching out, getting maybe prepared for this yellow coming up and just not driving quite as aggressively, I say, right as it looks like a pass is happening. Too wide. Who is that? Is that the 19? Is that Garrett?
Kyle Bartles and Anthony Burleson right there.
Thank you. That was the 79. 79.
Yes, 79 there, as we are 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. Matt Cherry has the lead by about 8/10. Rainwater is catching, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to get up to him in time, as our eyes are still on this battle. Shepsis and Bruce getting into each other there for just a second. That is for your 6th spot here in stage number 2, as a white flag is out in stage number 2 for Matt Cherry. One more lap before he gets, I believe, his 2nd stage win on the season for that 45 campus off of turn number 2. Looks like things are going to stay straight for the 45, and down into turn number 3. Has no challenge whatsoever for this stage win off of turn number 4. Matt Cherry takes, I believe, his 2nd stage win of the season.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And these next 75 laps, you said, are going to be a bit of are they a different format to the previous ones? You said
it's a longer. This is going to be the run to the end of the race, basically. So they had the 2 stage breaks, which basically give out points based on your finishing in the top 10. And then now it's no more guaranteed cautions to the end. So these guys have what should be about a 70-lap run to the end of this race, which they can make on both fuel and tires. So tire strategy going to be real important, but we'll take you through what everyone did on the other side of this commercial break. Stay right here. We'll take you to the end of this race here on Grid Vision.
Travis Pastrana here, and you are watching the Thunderclap iRacing Series. Grab a good boy and let's go racing.
I think we're ready to ride.
In a distant kingdom, in a magical realm, there lived people who faced dreadful drainage problems on their lawns. For many years, they suffered from puddles and mud in their yards. Until one day, the saviors from TLC Company appeared with their magical shovels and lifted the wet curse from the kingdom's residents. Forget about puddles and mud. With us, your yard will become a genuine fairy tale nook. Call us right now and let's transform your drainage concerns into a magical adventure. TLC, where every home becomes a fairy tale.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. You got a outdoor lighting, landscape lighting system. Maybe we installed it. Maybe it was there you inherited in your house and you want to upgrade it. Now's the time to give us a shout. We'll come out and take a look, evaluate what you do have, tell you what you could have. Give us a shout today for all your outdoor lighting needs. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, Bob Carr with TLC. Spring's upon us. If you got a wet yard, it's not going to get any better. Now it's time to give us a call. Let us come out and take a look at your drainage problem in your property. We can get you a solution. The dogs, the kids be tracking in mud. Mom will be mad. So give us a call. Give us a shout today. Talk to you soon.
TLC is the best in lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, holiday lighting, yard drainage, and more. Let us take care of your project. Get your free, no obligation estimate from TLC today.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. Let's take it down to the booth and get updated on what's going on.
Always got to thank Bob Carr and the guys over at TLC, the premier service provider for lawn sprinklers, outdoor lighting, and drainage solutions in the Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Transform your home into a showcase in just one day with a new water-saving lawn sprinkler system, energy-efficient outdoor lighting, or the healthiest backyard in the business. A little long goes a long way with TLC. Head to tlcincorporated.com for more information. And at the end of stage number 2, Matt Cherry takes it late on in that run after pretty much everyone behind him stays out. Had stayed out on what was 100-lap-old tires. So Matt Cherry should be on the freshest tires in the field right now, as is everybody else. So this is pretty much a reset here for this final 70-lap run to the finish.
Yeah, this is what it feels like. And with 75 laps to go, we've already seen that there are drivers willing to go 80 laps on the same set of tires. Now, there's each racer has got 3 sets of tires, counting the pair the set they've currently got on. So at this point, everyone's pit. I believe there wouldn't be anybody out with old tires. But will we have another yellow that'll give the people who don't like to race 80 laps a chance to get some fresh tires between now and the end of the race? That could be a lot of the deciding factor here, considering it was the deciding factor early on in terms of who won stage 1 versus who won stage 2. I think you could clearly say tires played a clear effect in who won stage 2 of this race.
Yeah, for sure. And with the way that this race is set up, and with how many pit stops each car has made, Matt Cherry has made 2 pit stops for tires this race, so he's down to 1 set of tires. Noah Rainwater, he has, I believe, 2 sets of tires left in the pits as well, as he's only made 1 pit stop for tires. And I think everyone else further back, there's a couple of guys scattered that have 1 set of tires as well, but I'm pretty sure everyone else has 2 sets of tires as well. So strategy really needs to go in Matt Cherry's favor here if he wants a chance at winning this race. But it will be him in that 45 leading these guys back to green flag here as the pace car pulls off and they enter the TLC restart zone. Green flag back in the air here, presented by Pine Golf. Matt Cherry in the 45, playing a little bit of games with the 05 and Noah Rainwater, but they all keep it clean to the inside. Jordan Durasic on the 05 and Noah Rainwater. Going to make that move almost easy.
Many cars here going down to the inside, but again, stretching out, looking to try to get it's now too wide at the front, but I'm looking to try to see who's going to play aggressively early on to try to get that early lead. We saw that early lead pay off for Jurassic. We saw it pay off once he got it for Matt Cherry. So with 2 cars too wide in the first and second place positions, pardon me, place positions, this race has enough laps left that the aggression could pay off with a nice long stretch of easy driving.
Sounded like a record player there for a second as TJ DeBlasi up into that second spot now over Matt Cherry, who seems to be struggling a little bit. Maybe Matt Cherry did not take tires. I'm not too sure. I thought I saw him come down pit road.
I thought I did too. Just about everybody did. And wow, here we go. Now almost 3 wide here as we're coming back around. Now these are fresh tires. Fresh tires means cold tires. So we could be, there's a mode you've got to switch in your brain when you switch back to a fresh set of tires. That is, these need to wake up. There needs to be some time on the road here for this to work out.
It's a good old saying
going on. You were saying about a good old saying?
Sorry about that. I had a back spasm go on there, but it's that good old saying, cold tires are cold, that you got to worry about here at Iowa, especially at Iowa, with it being 10 a.m. virtual sim time at the moment. So these guys, wow, the day is starting to heat up, and I mean, it's pretty warm for 10 a.m. in the morning. It's 81 degrees, so a nice humid day here in the Corn State.
And it looks like back in first place, there has been some changes going on. What happened to Matt Cherry? He's in 12th now, falling back hard during, not exactly sure what happened, but Jordan Jurassic is back in first place with TJ DeBlasi pulling second.
Yeah, it looks like Matt Cherry may have just taken fuel under that pit stop and is saving his last set of tires in case he needs it later on. Noah Rainwater up in the wall further up. Maybe he saved his last set of tires too, as Rainwater has fallen off pretty significantly as well. As back up front, it is still Jordan Jurassic leading this thing over TJ DeBlasi. DeBlasi does look like he's trying to catch. Actually, it's Shepsis in second. What happened to DeBlasi?
DeBlasi, I missed the moment that they switched places here, but it looks like Shepsis managed to pass him at about the 1 hour 6 minute mark here.
Yeah, it looks like it just looks like
go back and have a look at that pass
position here.
DeBlasi up, Shepsis with the move. Ooh, slingshot mode activated.
He does make
Nice,
that
clean
pass, and looks like our battle for about third on back is starting to heat up a little bit, as now Kyle Bartles is caught up to TJ DeBlasi in the 78 off of turn number 2. Actually, Tristan Bruce gets past the 95 of DeBlasi. The 95 of Bartles. There we go. Sorry, I wasn't looking live there for a second.
That's all right. With Tristan Bruce moving up, it looks like the first place position is slowly re-solidifying back into what we saw back in the first stage a little bit. So we could have that Jurassic Bruce 1-2 back again. Now, my pick, DeBlasi, is sitting in third place. He's going to be the one to pass. So Tristan Bruce is about 3/10 behind him at this point. So there's a lot of racing going on in the third, fourth, and fifth positions that have to get themselves sorted out before anyone's going to make a push to join Jurassic up there at the front.
Yeah, that battle for the lead starting to heat up a little bit, as now Gregory Shepsis on the rear bumper of Jordan Jurassic. This is for the lead here on lap 117. Shepsis to the inside now, maybe give the bumper down into the corner to the 6 of Jurassic, side by side for the lead. Shepsis gets a little bit loose off of turn number 4. Jurassic does keep that lead for now, but Gregory Shepsis looks to have the faster car for the time being here, as these guys are encroaching on 55 laps to go in this race.
And it looks like the chat's got it for Bruce, claiming that he's coming back. I think that you're onto something, chat. Bruce is currently a second, 1.2 seconds off of the lead, and it's going to be only maybe a couple of laps before he closes that, especially if the fighting up front gets into Jurassic's head. If we start to see Jurassic having to drive defensively, for instance, because Shepsis is putting the pins to him, we're going to very quickly see that third, fourth, and fifth position pack catch up and cause even more trouble for the current leader. But right now, he's got enough trouble from Shepsis, who is just not letting him go.
Yeah, now that the sun is fully out here over the Iowa Speedway, that track temp is jumping up quickly, already north of 100 degrees from where it started about 85 this morning. So these guys are really starting to have to deal with that right rear wear off the corners, knowing how hot the track is. Hot equals loose on iRacing. So These guys really having to save that right rear now on this long run, and it definitely looks like Shepsis is starting to fall off just a tiny bit here.
And I see Noah Rainwater has entered the pit lane, it looks like. I don't know what happened there. But we've lost Rainwater to tires, it sounds like. He's getting those tires changed finally.
Looks like a planned pit stop for the 0-5, and Noah Rainwater just couldn't make it anymore on those tires. He will lose a lap here, but should be able to get it back should another caution come out here tonight. But Shepsis has been hounding Jurassic for that lead and hasn't been able to get it quite yet, but he has fallen off more than he has for the last 10 laps or so off of Jurassic, so it looks like Shepsis may have used the best of his tires up to this point.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Every push that he tries to make, we just don't see the oomph that is necessary to get that advantage by the time you're out of the other side of the turn. He makes the dive several times. He's going to do it right now. Oh, almost. He makes the dive, but as soon as he's out into that air and he has to start cutting through it himself, the car just can't get him through it, and he ends up falling back. I think he's in a good place right now to just follow Jurassic, stick with him, get in his head, and just remind him that he's helping him save tire. Just get in his head, stay there.
That is true, but we're also talking about how bad the dirty air bubble is here, as now Shepsis looks to the inside, won't have anything at the moment, but this is a good time to bring up that dirty air bubble. We haven't really gotten a chance to talk about it at all tonight, but Shepsis seems to be stuck in that dirty air bubble, as now to the rear bumper of the 6 at Jurassic, DeBlasi, Bruce, Colgan, and Bartles & Co. starting to catch up to these guys as well. Looking off the back of the 27 of Shepsis here, you can see that gap has closed significantly here over the last, 10 laps or so.
That's what we're looking for too. Like I mentioned earlier, as soon as the front two start to have to be defensive against each other, do we have a?
There was contact between the two leaders there.
Oh, I barely saw it. I was just thinking about it. It was there was a little bit of contact between the leaders, but I was just thinking of that. The more defensive the leaders have to drive, the better that is for third, fourth, and fifth, and we're now seeing that pay off. As now the leaders don't have to worry just about each other, but now Shepsis has to worry about DeBlasi, Bruce, and eventually Colgan. Let's take a look really back here at Noah Rainwater. He was in the pits for tires, pulls out of the pits, and before he even crosses the line, he's back.
Huh.
Probably maybe setup issue, maybe technology, my guess. Something along those lines.
Jordan Jurassic will have a field day post-race with that.
Oof, yeah, we're going to find out. Speaking of Jurassic, currently in the lead. Still
Jurassic in the lead at the moment. Shepsis has been trying everything under the sun except for the kitchen sink at this point to get around Jurassic. Hasn't been able to do it, and you have to wonder, is Shepsis burning his tires off trying to fight this hard? We already know how bad dirty air can be, especially at a track like Iowa. So I believe at this point Shepsis is fighting for grip, as now TJ DeBlasi enters this battle for the lead. 3 cars all with the chance at taking the lead here. Jurassic still has the favorite car at the moment, but Shepsis looks like he wants the lead as well, and DeBlasi now going to join this battle as he takes it all the way to the yellow line, all the way to the inside, attempting the 2-for-1 special. Only going to get 1 on Shepsis in that corner, but he is still to the inside of Jurassic, has to fall back up in line.
I almost swore Jurassic hit the wall there, just riding it with an inch of gap maybe, as DeBlasi's dive to the inside. Huge speed on that. Just huge speed, but as you said, not enough to get the 2-for-1 as he was looking for it. Still a very gutsy move that has paid off for him big time. That whip he did, where he got DeBlasi to move up the track, where he got Bruce to move up the track and then just tucked in under him, was beautiful. Off track now.
Oh, and speaking of Bruce, he's really loose. They're 3 wide off of turn number 2. Robert Walton was in the infield grass there, but Tristan Bruce got really loose off of turn number 2. They were 3 wide coming off the corner, and Tristan Bruce got scammed there. If we can get a replay. In that same sentence, though, TJ de Blasi took the lead from the 6 at Jurassic. This is a replay of what happened to Robert Walton in the 66 machine. He goes for a little half spin off of turn number 4. And while we say that, Tristan Bruce goes into turn number 1, goes 3 wide after getting really loose and loses 2 positions there. And then I believe right in front of them, TJ de Blasi took the lead from Jordan Jurassic in the same breath.
Gonna go back and have a look at another replay here. And what happens to Tristan Bruce here? Riding up the inside, just bullied. Just bullied a little bit, boxed out. It looks like he just, that loss of control maybe gave him a little bit of the jitters going into that turn.
Possibly, as now TJ de Blasi really starting to pull away from the field here. Jordan Jurassic on the struggle bus, it looks like.
An 8/10 lead on Jurassic. De Blasi has taken the lead clearly. With now 3 wide in the back, there's so much racing going on right now in the top positions. It has been a meat grinder of place changes, leader changes, and not just at the front, but in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place positions, as everyone's all over this track, just taking some incredible risks with an already risky track on tires that are just going to start getting into their perfect prime right at about this point of the race.
Yeah, as the track temp continues to rise here, already at 102 degrees, just in the span of about 20 laps here. Now Robert Colgan looks to the inside of Jordan Jurassic for that 2nd spot. Jurassic seems to be either saving his tires or really starting to fall off. Not sure of which, but Colgan still to his inside here. Looks like he should have that 2nd spot if Jurassic doesn't get that good of a run, which it looks like he will.
Here we go, the 94 of Colgan. Tucked in. People are now starting to use that inside line a little bit more as they get more confident on their tire sets. If Colgan can't quite seal the deal, maybe he can here, as that outside line still manages to pay off on the exits for Jurassic.
Yeah, that outside line comes in clutch, especially at Iowa with how bumpy that inside is. Colgan gets a little bit tight on the inside there. Kyle Bartles tries the same line there. Doesn't look like it works for the 95 either, but all the while, TJ de Blasi continues to pull away from the field here as we're coming up to 35 to go here. As Matt Sherry down pit road.
Maybe he's going for tires too. Very, very likely. Now back down to the inside. Again, everyone's spreading out. Some folks can see that the outside line is the way to go. And when you're on the straight, everybody's against the wall. It's in the turns that we're seeing the advantages being pushed, and we're seeing who's got more confidence, who's got a more aggressive line. And even with the more aggressive line, who's just got more flat out speed is going to matter. But is going to matter so much on where you are. The inside line is not a guarantee here. And that outside line is just, it's been baffling me how much it's been paying off for these cars that have maintained a smooth line, even with cars on the inside that are door to door with them in the middle of the turn.
Yeah, that's the one tough part about the next gen here is it's so sensitive to the bumps that it's almost impossible to run that inside line. That's why you see a lot of guys running that middle and outside lines here. So it's a bit of a surprise to us to see anyone even attempt to use the bottom line here, as now Kyle Bartles looks like he's wanting to mount an attack on the 6 at Jurassic.
Yeah, that inconsistency between one half of the track in Iowa and the other, both physically, any way you slice it, one half of the track is different than the other half, and that inconsistency is definitely going to be something that I can say has been affecting the cars and the drivers on a consistent level. Here we go. We got a spin.
Oh, man, that's Jurassic.
Jurassic into the wall.
Hits the wall really hard, and that is for sure toe damage for Jordan Jurassic.
He's got to be meatballed. Yeah.
The curse strikes again.
the curse. Just unbelievable. Jurassic gone quickly from one of our hardest driving leaders now to very far down the pack. Let's see what happens here. He just gets loose, fires it into the turn. Here comes Iowa.
I believe it was down in turn 3 for Jurassic.
Yeah, let's see it here. We're going to try to catch that. Fires it
yeah,
down in. Oh,
exactly the wrong way.
The correction and the cost. And here he's thinking it can't be too hard to drive a car, and then Iowa just proves that it's not that easy to turn left.
And that is going to be the end of the night for Jordan Jurassic. So, in case you were wondering, Jordan Jurassic, if you see this later on this week, the curse is true. Whoever I choose ends up having a bad race.
And you know what? It's my first race here at Thunderclap, and look who's currently leading in lap 145.
Rub it in.
That's the reverse curse of the first-time broadcaster. That's what I like. That's what I'm going to call this.
As you say that, Kyle Bartles is going for the lead, and it looks like he's got it down into turn number 3. He is clear of the 78 at TJ DeBlasi. And now within 30 laps to go of this race, these guys really starting to get down to crunch time here at Iowa Speedway between 3 guys that I do not believe, actually I believe out of these 3, the only one to have a win is your 3rd place driver of Robert Colgan. I can actually look that up. Let
me just make a few.
Yes, it is. Robert Colgan, even though it was 2 Super Speedway, actually no, 1 Super Speedway win, excuse me, at Talladega for Robert Colgan, he is still the only one in your top 3 to have a win. And even if you want to go back as far as top 4, top 5 even, he's the only one to have a win.
And now we have, out of the locked-in guys who are locked into the playoffs here, who have we lost so far? Because I know that we just lost Jurassic, and that was a big. That was one that I didn't. I thought he was going to make it to the end of the race here. So I was just wondering if we could take a look and see who have we lost out of this race, maybe, who were already locked in, people who can go home and just sort of rest their head.
Okay, Andrew Olazewski, he was 60 to the good, so he's pretty much locked in. There was like 1 or 2 scenarios where he doesn't make it, and none of those will happen at this moment. Actually, shoot, we may be on for one right now, because if Kyle Bartles wins, he gets locked in and then knocks Andrew Olazewski out. Actually, no, it doesn't. No, it does not. I'm having a brain fart here. Don't listen to me. But
it's okay. It's okay. I threw you under the fire. I threw you into the fire here a little bit with the playoff talk.
Yeah, I believe it's Noah Rainwater was locked in. I got to go get the freaking playoff standings real quick.
And it looks like while we're doing that, my man DeBlasi fell down another place, and Robert Colgan took 2nd.
Okay, so Noah Rainwater is locked in. He's good to go. He has nothing to worry about. Jurassic's locked in. He's good to go. Matt Cherry's locked in. He's 2 laps down. He really doesn't have anything to worry about. TJ DeBlasi, he's locked in on points. He's got nothing to worry about. Colgan's locked in. Nothing to worry about. The only people in a must-win right now at the moment, I believe, are Kyle Bartles, Gregory Shepsis, and Anthony Burleson out of your top 5. So you got 3 guys that are on a must-win at the moment. So a lot of stories could happen here, but for the moment, Kyle Bartles running away with this thing.
And we're looking for Bartles, Shepsis, and Burleson, all 3 of whom have been pretty hard charging during the race overall. The race has had a lot of place changing. We've had a couple of yellows, a few wrecks here and there, but the hardest charger of the race is in first place right now. Kyle Bartles has made up 21 places from his grid position, driving that Toyota all the way up to first place now. And he has a fairly secure lead, I think, almost a 2-second lead currently on the 2nd place position. So unless we see another yellow with only 20 laps to go, get your bets in now, ladies and gentlemen. But as I think we're about to close them.
And I actually do have to make an amendment. Shepsis is in on points at the moment, so he shouldn't have much to worry about.
Bartles then.
Yeah. Bartles
Okay.
and Burleson are must wins at the moment, and at the moment it looks like Kyle Bartles would be one of the last ones in here if he's able to get a win, which he does look like he's on pace to do so, as it looks like Robert Colgan and TJ de Blasi are getting ready to battle it out for position here.
Yeah, you never want to be the guy who says the thing, because then the thing never happens, and you feel like you're the person who curses it or messes with it. So I'm not going to say anything about Kyle Bartles except good luck, and we're all counting on you. So keep on racing hard. It looks like that second and third place fight, though, is going to be where the excitement's at for the remaining 20 laps here, as there's eyes on second place from de Blasi, but it's going to take an extraordinary amount of charge for him to get it, and I just don't see the power in his car right now. I just don't see the line, unless for some reason tires start to affect Robert Colgan. De Blasi is going to really need to find something down in that tank to get that second place away from him.
Now, before I do say this, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Knock on wood here, but at the moment, Kyle Bartles would be on not only for his first ever playoff appearance here in the Thunderclap iRacing Series, he'd be on for his first career win in this league as well. Granted, he is a rookie in this league. This was his first season. His first race was at Talladega, so I believe he would be in the playoffs if he does meet the race requirement, which I'm not sure if they even have one here for the Thunderclap iRacing Series, but we do have a battle for position here, as now Colgan has lost that second spot to the 78 at de Blasi, who seems to have regained a little bit of life in those tires.
Yeah, is it life in his tires? Is it death in Colgan's? It's hard to tell, but it's whatever it was, that little je ne sais quoi that he needed to find, he found it, and now he's in second place. With 15 laps to go, it's hard to say that he'll be able to find enough speed to catch up a 3-second gap away from Bartles, but it's nice to see that the race is still on for second and third place from de Blasi and Colgan.
Yeah, and barring divine intervention here, Kyle Bartles is 0.3 of a second a lap faster than the rest of your field right now. So, don't want to say anything too soon, but
You got to stop.
Look like
You got to stop. You got to stop, Nick.
Okay,
You're killing
I'm
me.
Stopping. I'm